What I'm about to say might or might not offend some people, but I want to make it clear to you I am not against immigrants coming to this country. I am angry because we have a government that helps people that come from other countries, but yet, for some reason, they can't afford helping their own people. And let me explain. I don't get it how this is a very progressive country with new technologies, um, new infrastructure, with money, with different industries, but yet more than 90% of its disabled population is unemployed. Blind people, people in wheelchairs, people that are hard of hearing, people with invisible disabilities, autoimmune disorders. You get it. Everybody is pretty much unemployed or close to losing their jobs because companies discriminate against us. They don't think we're able to perform the tasks. And I get it. Like I said it before, I'm not against immigration. I just wish people did it legally. I just wish that this government would offer its own citizens the help first before trying to solve other people's shit, other countries' problems. That's why the other countries are independent countries. They could solve it themselves, and if they can't, they can ask for help instead of sending all their people to another nation, making their situations worse. This is why our cities are full of homeless people. Because drugs are coming in, people are unfortunately stuck in a house with 15, 20 other people because our cities are overpopulated. As a person with disabilities, I myself can't walk down the street without encountering cars parked on the sidewalk. A place that should be clear for a blind person to walk through. There's trash all over the place. I don't mean to rant like this on social media, but seriously, it's not just our president trying to advocate for an extremist um, agenda as some media make it seem like. Maybe some of us are tired of it, and yes, we may not agree with the way our president expresses himself, but that doesn't mean he's wrong. There are a lot of things that need to be fixed in this country, and we better fix our own problems before we go out there trying to solve everybody else's problems. It ain't cool to see other people thriving in our country, people that don't even, have documents in their hands. And I got nothing against the Hispanic or nothing against immigrants. I'm Hispanic myself, but I'm also blind. I'm also unemployed. I'm also struggling to find housing. I'm not in a bad situation. I've heard from other blind people how their situations are worse, living with you know, abusive parents, family members, friends that just have them there at home because they're an extra income because of the SSI checks coming in. But in my case, thankfully, I'm not in that situation. It still makes me mad though. I've had to struggle for the past 4 years to find places where to live, especially now that I'm in the process of being with someone else, being a normal adult. Yeah, you sighted people sometimes don't realize the struggles we have to go through. We can't just marry someone. We can't just move on in life and, get together with someone, find an apartment, and woohoo, settle down. It's not like that. Social Security has restrictions if we depend on Social Security. But also, if you're trying to find a job, there's a risk of, yeah, maybe you're not going to be hired because you have a disability. Maybe you're at risk of losing your job once they find out what your disability is. A lot of people lose their jobs because they're blind, because they're hard of hearing. So before you point fingers and before you judge, make sure that you can at least try to imagine what walking in those people's shoes is like. You won't walk in them because you're not disabled, but at least try to imagine it or inform yourself before you make ignorant comments. Peace.